Aquarius, I need you to sit down right now because what I have just seen in your cards has left me completely speechless. I have been reading tarot for many years, I have witnessed thousands of spreads, I have felt chills running through my body, I have even cried in front of readings for other people, but what has appeared for you today, for the 3rd of May, 2026, is something I have not encountered in a very long time. When I laid the cards out on the table and began turning them over one by one, something in the atmosphere shifted immediately. The air in the room felt different, heavier, and yet strangely charged at the same time. And I want to be very clear with you, this is not imagination, this is not dramatic storytelling, this is exactly what happened in that moment. Today you are going to understand 3 major revelations that are going to completely change the way you perceive this week and possibly the upcoming months of your life. The first thing we are going to uncover is a blocked energy that has been interfering with your path for weeks, and today, finally, that energy is breaking. I will tell you exactly which card revealed it and why it matters so much for your present situation. After that, we are going to enter a more sensitive area of your reading. Someone from your past is preparing to reappear, and the cards have shown me with striking clarity what their true intention really is. This is not a random reconnection, there is deeper energy behind it, and you need to be aware of it. And finally, there is a message arriving within the next 3 days, something related to finances, an opportunity, a doorway that opens suddenly. If you are not attentive, you might miss it without even realizing its importance. That is why you need to stay with this reading until the very end, because everything is interconnected. Each card that came out today is speaking directly to you, Aquarius, without confusion, without distortion. Let us begin with the very first card that appeared, the one that immediately changed the energy of the entire reading. When I flipped the first position, the Tower appeared in reversed position. And I want you to understand something very important here. The Tower reversed does not represent destruction in the way many people fear it. Instead, it represents prevention. It indicates that a collapse that was meant to happen in your life has been stopped before it could manifest. Something that could have shaken you deeply in the coming days, a conflict, a loss, an emotional rupture, something destabilizing, has been redirected away from you. And the reason is not random. The cards are showing a strong presence of protective energy surrounding you, something ancestral in nature. This means that energies connected to your lineage, your spiritual guardians, your ancestral force, have been actively intervening on your behalf. They have created a barrier, a shield that prevented this disruption from reaching your life path. I know this may sound unusual, but the presence of the Tower reversed in the first position is one of the clearest signs of spiritual intervention. This also explains something very important. If during the past few days you felt unexplained anxiety, heaviness in your chest, or a sense that something was about to go wrong without any logical reason, that feeling was not imaginary. It was the awareness of a shifting energy approaching you, something that was ultimately neutralized before it could affect you. And right next to this card, something even more powerful appeared. The sun came out in its natural position, radiant and undeniable. When the Tower reversed and the sun appear together, the message becomes extremely clear. What could have been a difficult period has transformed into a period of unexpected clarity and success. It is as if the universe has decided that you will not fall into that timeline. Instead, Aquarius, you are being redirected toward light, visibility, and recognition. The sun represents success, truth, energy, and above all, being seen for who you truly are. In your specific case, this energy is pointing toward recognition. Someone is going to finally acknowledge your value. Someone who may have ignored you, underestimated you, or failed to appreciate your efforts is going to realize their mistake. This realization is not subtle, it becomes clear within this same week. It may appear in your professional environment, in a personal relationship, or even within your social circle, but the effect will be noticeable and undeniable. You will feel it when it happens because the sun does not whisper, it reveals. Then the third card completed the initial message. The Ace of Pentacles appeared, and at that moment everything became even clearer. This card represents material beginnings, financial opportunities, and new foundations being formed in the physical world. We are not talking about sudden luck or unrealistic gains. We are talking about something grounded and real. A message, a proposal, an opportunity, or an opening that arrives between now and the beginning of the coming week. Something that has the potential to significantly change your financial direction if you choose to act on it. The Ace of Pentacles never arrives without responsibility attached to it. It is not passive energy. It requires action, awareness, and decision-making. It is as if the universe places something in front of you and waits to see whether you are willing to take it. Aquarius, this is the moment where your energy becomes activated. You need to align yourself with what is unfolding. There is a sense of readiness that must be embraced right now. Now we move into something more emotionally complex. The next card that appeared is the Five of Cups, and this is where your emotional past begins to speak clearly. There is something you have lost, Aquarius. Something or someone that is no longer part of your life. And even though you have continued moving forward, there is still a part of you that has not fully processed that emotional experience. The Five of Cups shows a person focused on what has fallen, without realizing what still remains standing behind them. And that is exactly your emotional state right now. You have been so focused on loss that you have not fully acknowledged what still supports you, what still exists in your life, and what still offers emotional stability. The cards are indicating that this emotional cycle is coming to a close. Not in the future, not later, but beginning now, on the 3rd of May, 2026. This is a turning point where emotional release becomes possible without guilt, without resistance. And this is where the next layer of your reading becomes very important. The moon appears, and with it, the energy of someone from your past enters the spread again. The moon represents hidden emotions, secrecy, and unresolved emotional bonds. Someone who once had a strong connection with you has been thinking about you intensely. This person has not expressed it openly, but the energy surrounding them is unstable, emotionally charged, and persistent. There is a strong indication that they may attempt to re-enter your life. This could come in the form of a message, a call, or a situation that appears accidental but is energetically intentional. However, the moon also brings confusion. What they express may not fully reflect what they truly intend. There may be hidden motives, emotional ambiguity, or unspoken expectations behind their words. Aquarius, you must not accept everything at face value. The cards are not telling you to reject them immediately, but they are warning you to observe carefully. Your intuition will be extremely important here. And directly beneath the moon appears the Queen of Swords, which reinforces a very clear message. Clarity must come before emotion. Logic must guide your decisions in this situation. You are allowed to listen, but you are not obligated to give your trust immediately. You need to observe actions, consistency, and truth before offering emotional access again. Now the energy shifts again, and something far more uplifting emerges. The Ten of Cups appears, bringing a completely different vibration into your reading. This is emotional fulfillment, harmony, and deep inner peace. Despite everything you have experienced, despite emotional challenges and internal struggles, a new phase of emotional stability is beginning to form in your life. This is not temporary relief. This is a genuine restructuring of your emotional environment. The Ten of Cups shows long-term harmony beginning to take shape. When connected with the sun earlier in your spread, this becomes even more powerful. It indicates that different areas of your life are beginning to align simultaneously. Emotional life, personal relationships, and inner peace are all moving toward balance. Shortly after, the Magician appears, and this is one of the most important cards in your entire reading. The Magician tells you something very direct. You already have everything you need to transform your life. Nothing is missing from you, Aquarius. The only thing required now is belief in your own ability to act. Your mind, your communication, your emotions, and your actions are all tools available to you right now. The universe is not asking you to wait. It is asking you to use what you already possess. This creates what can be described as active manifestation energy. Your thoughts are becoming more powerful than usual. Your intentions carry more weight. Your decisions produce faster results. That is why your internal dialogue matters so much right now. What you say to yourself is shaping your immediate reality. Then comes the Nine of Swords, revealing your internal struggle. Anxiety, overthinking, restless nights, and mental pressure have been present in your life. These thoughts often appear at night when everything becomes quiet. But immediately after this, the star appears, and everything shifts. The star is healing. It is emotional recovery. It is the return of hope after mental exhaustion. It shows that your anxiety is not permanent. It is dissolving gradually, naturally, without force. A moment is approaching soon where you will feel a sudden sense of peace, even if nothing external has changed yet. That feeling will be real, not imagined. Then the Wheel of Fortune appears, confirming that your life cycle is shifting. Circumstances that were stuck are beginning to move. Delays are ending. Progress is returning. This is not coincidence. This is timing. The reading continues with more cards that reinforce stability, growth, awareness, and transformation. The King of Wands shows your leadership rising. The Six of Pentacles shows balance returning in relationships and exchanges. The Three of Wands shows expansion and future progress becoming visible. And finally, Aquarius, the world appears. This is completion. This is closure of an old cycle. This is the opening of a new chapter that is not limited by your past struggles anymore. Everything you have lived until now has been preparation. Every challenge, every emotional burden, every moment of uncertainty has contributed to this turning point. You are not in the same energetic position anymore. Something has fundamentally shifted in your path. And now, what remains is your participation. Your awareness. Your willingness to step into what is already unfolding. Because what the cards have shown today is not potential, Aquarius. It is activation.